are dark in Ohio. And I decided they could use a little bit of light. I wake up in the morning and I grab my journal to express my hopes, dreams, and fears as I caffeinate with my morning coffee. I sit down to write a blog post on perfectionism, just hoping it connects with someone and makes them feel a little less alone. I get in my car to go to work, and I turn on a podcast interviewing creatives, entrepreneurs, and interesting people that make me feel like I can do anything too. The light inside of me getting brighter, like it's matching the sunset that's coming up over the cornfields next to me. It's only 7 a.m., but if I had a graph of my happiness throughout the day, this is when it would be at its peak, when I've just done the things that bring me joy and make me feel alive. I get to work and I park my car, and I jot down some notes on my phone of things I learned from the podcast or things that I want to do that I may or may not revisit later. I now have 45 seconds to get from my car to my desk, 45 seconds to switch my brain from work mode to creative mode, 45 seconds to get to my desk, plop down, and let out that deep that I've just made it to work on time. I've done this exhale before. If I had a video of me arriving to work every day, it would look the same. Each time that saying, I think there is more than this job. Everything that came after the exhale, the job part, I was taught that. Everything that came before the exhale, those creative things that I got to do in the morning, that wasn't taught in the college curriculum. Yet everything I did before work, those things that made me feel alive, is what made it worth getting out of bed in the morning. Like a lot of us, I was taught you go to high school, you go to college, and then you get the job. I was fortunate enough to get the big girl job I was supposed to get when I graduated from college. The job with the salary, the job with the title, the job to satisfy the last 4 years of grinding to get my degree was gonna be worth it. My life looked like eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, work. I liked my job. I was thankful for my job. I could answer the "so what do you do?" question proudly with supply chain analyst. I did everything I was supposed to do, so I made it, right? So why did I feel so empty? Why did I feel like there was more than this? Do you remember in high school those sports and activities that you had? You get out of school and you go over to practice every day. Maybe you were the soccer player, the gymnast, or the lead role in the school play. That adrenaline in your chest when you scored the goal, stuck the landing, or took your final bow. Then you would go home and you would have trouble falling asleep because you were still so energized from the day. And the next morning, you wake up still beaming because today, you get to do something you love, something you're good at, and be a part of something bigger all over again. Think about what high school would have been like without these sports and activities. Your identity and the weight of the world would have resided in what you got on that test or what your GPA was. But your sports and activities allowed you to be more than that. Expand your identity. But then we graduate from high school, and for a lot of us, it all just stops. According to the NCAA's 2022-2023 report, less than 7% of high school athletes have the probability to go to play at the college level. And less than 1% of those that play at the college level go on to the professional level. that means 99% of us aren't continuing with our sport. So you're not alone if you got to your first job and then you said, now what? Sports and activities were a priority in high school, something that brought us joy, something that lit us up. Today, do you have a hobby or activity outside of work that gives you that same feeling, that lights you up? Something that balances out the work. Something that doesn't put the weight of the world on work to be perfect all the time and hold our entire purpose, happiness, and identity. Because if work changes, shifts, or doesn't go well, not only does it feel like our job is falling apart, but we are falling apart. I remember when I got my first job and I realized the picture of my life, it wasn't complete. The picture of my life was very black and white, and I wanted to live a life full of color. I call finding hobbies and projects outside of work that bring you joy finding your yellow. Finding your yellow could be starting a garden, running a half marathon, writing a book. Finding your yellow can be a way to add some color to your life. Break that eat, sleep, work cycle and find your version of a fulfilling life. Because don't we all deserve to be fulfilled? So today, I want to offer 3 ways we can add some yellow to our life. The first being identifying what your yellow is. Maybe you think about the adult version of your high school sport. For me, that was gymnastics and going on to do yoga. Maybe you look at the content you regularly consume online, as it can often point to your interests. Or maybe you think about the stage of life you're in, and you become the photographer at your kids' sporting events. Think big, but you can think small too. You may already have a yellow and don't even realize it. It could be those audiobooks you listen to in the car or that daily walk you take around the block. Keep doing those things. Any activity, project, hobby that brings you joy can be your yellow. But what if you feel like, I got a lot going on. I'm not really sure if a yellow is a priority. So the second way we can add some yellow to our life is by making it part of our life pie. So if your life was a pie, what are the pieces that make up your life? What makes up your time, your energy, your happiness, your purpose, your identity? Maybe it's family, friends, your health, your work, and adding your yellow to the mix of that. Because ultimately, our yellows make the other pieces of the pie better. According to a 2023 study published in Nature Medicine studying 93,000 people, it showed that hobbies significantly improved our mental health and reduced depression, ultimately leading to higher life satisfaction and happiness. So our yellows make the rest of our priorities, our health, our relationships, our work, even better. Although we know having a yellow is beneficial, you may be thinking, how the heck do I have time for this, right? I know when I wanted to start doing yellows, I was like, I am way too tired at the end of the workday to do anything remotely interesting. And so the third way we can add some yellow to our life is by making it part of our morning routine. Waking up just a little bit earlier to do something that you love, that brings you joy, and using your freshest energy on it so you aren't leaving yourself the energy scraps at the end of the day. Yes, that requires waking up a little bit earlier, but instead of asking yourself, what time do I need to get up? I challenge you to ask, who am I waking up for? Who am I waking up for? Is it for your spouse? Is it for your kids? Is it for work? Is it for you? Who are you waking up for? Putting our yellows in our morning routine gives us the opportunity to decide who we are before the rest of the world tries to tell us who we are. Who are you waking up for? And if you can proudly answer that question, it's going to make that earlier wake-up time a whole lot easier. I ended up calling this concept of making time for your hobbies, your yellows, as part of your morning routine, yellow mornings. One day of doing yellow mornings for me became a week, which became a month, which became a year, and now over 7 years of my life. It's helped me become not just a supply chain analyst, but a speaker, a writer, the current best version of myself, and led me to get to be here with all of you today. So today, I want you to ask yourself, what could be your yellow? And a year from now, I hope you aren't just dreaming about it. I hope you're doing something about it. Whether it's in the morning, in the evening, or just for 5 minutes a day. Maybe you feel like you're in the black and white picture, like I was, and you want to live that life full of color and expand your identity. I'll tell you this. If you ever wake up in the morning and your alarm goes off and you're staring at the ceiling, debating if you're going to get up to do your yellow, the workout, the writing, the walking your dog around the block, because sometimes your dog believes in you more than you believe in you. Think about waking up next year and being in the exact same spot you are right now, still in that black and white picture. Be the person your dog thinks you are. Someone who shows up and the coolest person in the world. So what could be your yellow? How can you prove that you are more than your work? It's not about proving it to the world, but proving it to yourself. You are not a black and white picture. You are meant to live a life full of color. And it starts by adding a little yellow to it. Thank you.